Narendra Modi is making the first official visit by an Indian Prime Minister to the Palestinian territory. He's meeting Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. The trip to the West Bank is part of a three-nation tour to strengthen ties with the Middle East. Earlier, he laid a wreath on the tomb of former Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat. Bernard Smith has more from Ramallah now. So, Bernard, first of all, what's on Modi's schedule in the Palestinian territory there?
Well, this is the first time an Indian Prime Minister has visited the Palestinian territories, as you say, Sammy. It's a very short visit, 3 hours. He flew over, took a helicopter from the Jordanian side, landed here in the occupied West Bank and is leaving in about an hour or so's time. Now, from the Indian perspective, this is a visit aimed, they said, helping build up Palestinian capacity in the health, technology and education areas. They're investing in a technology park here in Ramallah, and Modi's also opening a school that the Indians have helped fund. It's a very different, though, relationship from the early relationship decades ago between the Indians and the Palestinians. The Indians were the first non-Arab state back in 1988 to recognize the state of Palestine, and then they viewed their relationship through this sort of colonial prism. The Indians had been colonized by the British, and they saw the Palestinians as being colonized by Zionists, Palestinian territory being colonized by Zionists. So then there was a lot more solidarity. Today the Indian relationship is much more pragmatic. Israel is what really matters to India. 41% of Israel's arms exports go to India, so it's that that's important. But Modi has decided to separately visit the West Bank to show that they still believe there is a sort of special relationship, if you like, between the Palestinians and the Indians, Sammy.
All right, good stuff there from Bernard Smith in Ramallah. Now, Kabir Tanaja is an Associate Fellow at the Observer Research Foundation, joins us from New Delhi. Good to have you with us. So, as we've been mentioning so far, the first visit by an Indian leader to the Palestinian territory, or Prime Minister. What message do you see Modi sending from this visit?
I think with this visit, Modi is basically sort of reiterating an old Indian policy. Before Modi got elected, his constituency, specifically in India, is very pro-Israel. So I think this is a continuation, a sort of a bond of support that Modi is showing, that he's not going to be changing India's historic stance on the Palestine territory, and that India is going to continue and support the Palestine cause. But this is also a soft dehyphenation between how India approaches Israel and how India approaches Palestine. So Israel knows that what India's stance on Palestine is, and Palestine knows what India's stance on Israel is. And they are both respective of this position by New Delhi, without actually dragging New Delhi into the internal affairs of the conflict.
You mentioned there, of course, he does come from a constituency which is pro-Israeli. He comes from a party that, of course, has been accused of being anti-Muslim, or harboring figures that have been accused of being anti-Muslim, involved or accused of being involved in destruction of mosques, etc., etc. India's position, or New Delhi's position today, is it still that passionate supporter of Palestinian statehood for all those reasons?
That's a good question. I think from a foreign policy standpoint it is. But from a very public discourse perspective, within India, the cause of Palestine does not resonate as strongly as it perhaps used to at a point of time. The Indian Muslim is very much more interested today in economic prosperity, domestic security, than be troubled by what is happening in Palestine.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Thanks so much for your analysis on that, Kabir Taneja.